Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Everything should be working. I hear myself in the background. Okay, so that's working. Cool. So, welcome back. This is going to be a continuation on the topology of the Hyena Bard for sculpting topology. Last time we made some good progress on the body. Let me hide this for a moment. This. So this is how far we got last week, where we got the body and we made a start on the head. We went over some of the theory of what loops are where and why they're there. Use that proximity, so we can always just do a quick mirror. Where is it? This. Alright. So make sure that the topology should be symmetrical. And just as a quick test, we merge again so that the center line is solid. I'm not quite sure why this is not getting nuked. I'm not quite sure why the red material wasn't being removed over there, so I'll just quickly recreate those polygons. Okay. This should have the blue loop. Okay. Okay. So for the people with keen eyes, there's a couple of models hidden in the hidden in the outliner. I did some testing for the hands beforehand because hands are tricky objects in terms of complexity, where the palm of your hand is a cube and then you have 4 fingers and a thumb that all have to attach to it, and then have a reasonable amount of edges that go into the wrist. So I think I want to start with the hands first, because that's going to require the most mental energy. So let's try to get that out of the way, because I think for the head, if I say it loud enough I'll jinx myself. I think for the head we have most of the questions already answered. Now it's going to be now it's a matter of terminating the edges somewhere either on top of the head, see how we are going to connect the body to the head. Because currently this thing is, if you look up here, it's 24 edges. This the neck is 26, so we're roughly even. But I also know that we're gonna get a few more edges in the arm that are going to flow into the neck, which will give us a few more edges to play with. So let's see. Again, I'll try to explain my line of thinking for this one, so that people can hopefully learn a thing or two from it. So again, turning this into a live surface, I have object X turned on, so we'll draw both hands at the same time. And then what we can do is start out by drawing out the fingers. Hey there, Brianator, welcome on in. So we're gonna start very easy, where every finger is just a cube. And then just to save time, actually change the plan. We're not going to do this symmetrically, because every time I will hit focus, it's going to zoom out. So we'll just work on one hand at a time. Oh, hi Deke. Yes, I'm in hand jail. Though hopefully I will not be in hand jail for too long, because I did some testing and everything should work out. So first off, we're going to do the fingers. In which case I will just give everyone... Oh. Not quite sure what I did there. I hope that didn't show up on the stream. I accidentally duplicated my desktop. Let me know if everything still works or if OBS didn't catch that. Great start. Okay. All good. Thank you for the feedback. Alright. Okay. So, as I'm going, I'll try to explain my line of thinking. So for the fingers, hands are complex, a lot of shapes flowing into each other, and it's extremely easy to get lost in it. So what I like to do is, even though these fingers are intended to be more round, I do not care. I want to make sure that how do you say this? We're just going for squares because that is their most fundamental shape. Like afterwards we can add more edges to make them round. For example, like rather than 6 faces we go for 12 then, I imagine. But just having a subdivision on it. The first thing that I would like to do is connect fingers to the palm of the hand, because the start is easy, everyone can do it. It's later on when you get to like connecting the thumb and having the flow of that is usually the thing that makes it really tough for a lot of people. So we have our fingers, and now we have some holes in between, which I will just cap off. Give a nice loop, and then we can just pull this all the way up. Hey Matt, welcome on in. We can just pull this up. Okay, and this is usually where the trouble begins, because these edges can all just go into the arm, but it's the thumb that's extruding. It's sideways and at an angle. And again, reiterating, this is sculpting topology. I'm not that worried about the thumb pad just yet, because later on for animation purposes we will be going over the hand again. But for sculpting, I will not be concerned about it. I just need good quads. So let me draw the thumb here as well. Okay. So again, spinning around it, it is a cube. So just 4 faces, that's all we need. And I know I would like to have this one. Yeah. this is where things get messy. Because if I would have put some colors on it. Actually, let me cap these off as well. I'll just run the length of the finger and give it one loop each. Or like one on each knuckle. One here and one here. And the last one. 2. Alright. This is good enough for now. Thinking adding some loops for visual so it's easier for viewers. Let's give this a pink loop. And then I also want the length of the thumb to have that pink loop as well. How do I explain this? Because this is where it kind of gets wonky, because you want to connect this, but you also don't want it to be like a lot of pinching on it. Like there's a lot of stress on this point if it's just this. So we're gonna have to find a way to alleviate that. Actually, if I were to look at the... Oh, hey Royce, welcome on in. Hope everyone's doing well. If I were to look at the hand that we have, because spoilers, I did some testing beforehand. The loops are extremely basic. It's just the poles that I had to plan out. And it's this one that has one shifted over. Yeah, the first thing I want to figure out is if I can have this loop just go straight flat across the palm. Because this is where you would sneak in a triangle, or rather that would happen, but that's not something that we'll allow, because sculpting topology, we don't want that. Should have probably prepared this one a little bit more in like systematic, or what do you call it? Systematic steps rather than trying to do this live, because we have the solution. Like I already made one. So if we were to look at it, I already put some green markers on it and the pink marker on it. We can see the center line goes in here. Okay. Let's add some center lines. You know that this one has the flow in there. Okay. Let's see. Just taking a peek. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. We just have to make sure that this one, modeling tools, gear dots. Okay, so that works. So that's the thumb attached. And then, yeah, this is also a clean loop. Alright, cool. So this... I'm glad that we found that. Hey LabCode, welcome on in. So with this, did I not find it? Okay, but for now, so we have a loop that runs over the length of the thumb, and it goes over the palm of the hand. Hey Blue, welcome on in. This finger runs over the back of the thumb. Now we have all these lines that will go into the body, or rather up the wrist. However, if we were to do it like this, we have 20 edges, or rather we have 20... Let me make sure to add the center line here. We have 22 edges that want to go into the wrist. Which, spoilers, that's too many. So what you want to do is collapse some edges. Also make sure that this doesn't go out. What you want to do is do some edge reduction, which you can do on the knuckles. If you look at the example that we made earlier, move this one. You want to have, or rather what I prefer, is to have these edges in between the fingers, so that a little bit of like anticipating for the animation later on, it's so that when you have your fingers spread, there is an edge in between it that can carry the weight between it. So you have smoother transitions, where for example if you move your index finger, if you want to move this finger, that this edge sits here so you don't accidentally, or not accidentally, but you don't grab the... that the faces of the middle finger don't get added to it. Yeah, we're doing hand topology. But don't worry, like we already have the solution, we're just trying to recreate it and I'm trying to demonstrate it. So first things first, we can collapse them like this. Which allows us to get rid of these. And we do the same on the bottom. And now, oh no, we have triangles, so we can just insert it here. And smooth it out a little bit. Is my tablet working again? Probably should have restarted my computer before this. Although looking at it over here, yeah, they have an extra inset. Like this is what we currently have, but we want to have like an extra inset so that later on we can add more edges to it. So let's see if we can do that real quick. So we do a little bevel, so we'll get an extra ridge. Oh, make sure that all of our edges are selected. We do a bevel modifier. We'll increase the fraction. Hang on, is this correct? Then we'll have to collapse these again. Bit convoluted. Maybe I missed an edge somewhere. But if I look at it, I don't see any triangles, so they're all quads again. That's good. I basically use smooth preview to see if there's any like weird pinching going on. So we have this loop. And now we can currently clothing rigging, getting it to match the body has been a process. Yes. Applying clothing on top of a body is a journey. The better your topology matches, the easier time you're gonna have. If not, I wish you good luck. Okay. Because these surfaces are so next to each other, I just average them out again so that they kind of shoot back to their actual position. And this looks good to me again. Okay, let's see how many polygons we have. 16! Oh, nice. Because if we take a peek at this one, it's also 16, but you can see that we have an inset here. I need to figure out where I went wrong. Because I do wish to recreate this one. This is 20. This is also 20, so then where is it? Oh. Sorry if you hear like some aberrant sounds. Downstairs neighbors are borderline renovating their rooms. Okay, well, I wonder what I did which causes this to only have 16. Let me take a quick look. Duplicate, move it outward. So we'll just look at it and see flow-wise what's going on. So we have this pole, this pole. I'm very intently looking at this, trying to figure out what I made as a change. So we're playing I Spy with my little eye right now. If anyone can catch it before me, you get a cookie. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so this is the difference. Over here we have a loop. Over here we have a loop that goes over the fingers and goes into the wrist. Over here we have one that goes over the band of the thumb. So that's where those two are coming from. I'll adjust that. Because there's a reason why I have this thing here in the back. I don't have to play coy. The reason why I have this one in here in the back is because this loop can also be extended all the way to the elbow. And that's when you then get a little bit of extra topology for the elbow to bend. Now again, this is a personal preference. You can also just do an extrusion inward on the elbow itself. Yeah, that's why I kind of want to have this topology like 1-to-1. So let's see. So this one gets dissolved, goes here. Right, yeah, and now we have the pole sitting here. This still sits, this still sits. This one goes here, this one goes here. Now we have a pull over here. It shouldn't be. Ah, we love topology, especially when it goes right the first time. And they try to recreate it on stream and then it breaks. Okay, so that pull should not be there. I'm so tempted to just grab this hand and use that one. Though that would defeat the purpose of me trying to demonstrate stuff. That, and this is also this is a skill check for me as well. Like if I had modeled this out in a different method, I wouldn't be in this like topology prison right now. And then more loops. Also, advertisement is happening right now. I'll wait patiently as I look intently at like what I'm currently missing. Yeah, so we're missing a face here. That's going over the thumb. It shouldn't. Because this is a blind spot to me. Like I see the topology that I should have and the topology that I currently have. Hello Radiant, welcome on in. Alright, a minute and a half until advertisement's over. Like I can see what I need, but my brain blue screens on it, which is very annoying when it happens. One here in the back. That one's gonna go like this, okay. Advertisement in 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm just waiting. Alright, advertisement is over. Let's go. Okay, so these need to go. These need to scooch over one spot. This needs to happen like this. Does it? Yes, alright. This one's gotta go. Okay, so that's one size solved. Now the poles line up. We still have our loops. That's good. Alright, now the back of the hand, we gotta figure it out. That's... This one to go here. Alright, and then with this topology, now it should be identical. So yeah, 16 edges on the border, and we have these loops going around cleanly over the finger. This one goes up the body, and this one goes over the thumb. Alright, this is what I wanted. Woo, we made it. Because if I were to select these, So now we can add a few more loops to the fingers, so we'll have more evenly spaced quads. And actually have them look a little bit more round as a finger. Because, again, reiterating, this is sculpting topology because the inside of the thumb, for example, if you were to grab something, your thumb rolls at a different angle than like your other four fingers. The four fingers, they just roll at a 90-degree angle, which is easy because, okay, cool. That does not require special topology. But it's the thumb, it's the meaty part of the inside of your thumb pad that should probably have a few edges that follow that flow, so that when you curl up to either grab something or like hold an object, that you have topology for that diagonal flow. But for now, sculpting topology, this is fine. Okay. Also, we're not going to worry about the claws. We're gonna, for the sculpting purposes, we are going to have the claws be separate geometry chunks so that we can control those better, and we can create the fingertips better. And then later on in the actual retopology for game res, that's when we'll fuse them together. Okay. So we have one for each knuckle, and now I'll just add one in between. And smooth them out a bit. Same with the thumb. So let me know if the volume of the music is right. It might just be a bit loud on my headphones. And make sure that the fingertips actually line up. Because again, we're gonna have to be sculpting over these once we go back to ZRush. And the fingertip will just average them out. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Thank you for the feedback. Alright. So, for sculpting purposes, this hand topology is good enough. We have our planes, like top of the hand and the side of the thumb. And all of it flows proper. Let me mirror so that it's on the other side as well. And now we're going to fuse it together. So let me... Oh, that's fun. Merge some vertices. That's a neat bug. If I were to remove history, it gets rid of the materials. That's a fun trick. How is that happening? Okay, let me just quickly reassign those loops then. So we had the blue loop for the body. Okay. The Arts of Player 2, welcome on in. And alright, nice username. God of Furries, thank you very much for the follow. Okay, Maya's being Maya. I smell bullshit because this shouldn't happen. This is material stuff going wrong. So I'm gonna unassign everything. Yes, I know, Deke, it's industry standard. And if I were to select it, we can see that over here it's not continuing selection, so there's something going on. And as we can see, we have two vertices that aren't split, or that are not welded. So, welcome on in. I'm not gonna short it down to God, but yeah, God of Furries, welcome on in. Also, what an entrance of a first message. So, alright, we will quickly recreate it. So the blue loop for the center line. Again, this is why we test things. Or rather, this is why we keep back up, so I can like kind of see where we are going. Also, spoilers, this one already has the hands connected. Okay, so for this one, the center line, we want this to be here at all times. We grab the hip loops, which was red. Get the red loops for the shoulder. Green loops to represent the sides. Sorry, if Maya hadn't done this, we wouldn't have to redo this. But it's important to... No, not red. It's important to keep them up. And these are the pink loops. These are the center lines. Industry standard software. Right. We got these loops. As last we discussed, these are the ankle loops. And I think that's close enough. Again, I'm doing all of this so that for the viewers it's more easy to look or like understand what's going on. I hope all of this is worth it. Alright, close enough. So now, this one, so here we have our hands recreated, 16 edges. If I were to select these two now, on the top here you see 32, which is correct because we are in symmetry, so it's 16 vertices on each. So if I were to get edges, again, 32. And 8, 16, 32, those are the numbers that I like. Because if we go to the wrist and select that, in symmetry mode, we can see 16. So you're like, okay, cool. 16 and 32 is quite easy to connect. And for this one, the arm can use a few more polygons, so if we were to insert a few edges, So again, 2 on the sides and then 2 more on the front and side. And if we were to select now, we have 32. So with that, and again, color markers, all of these things line up. Let me very quickly make it a bit more easy for all of you to see. Because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 green ones. Here below we have 1, 2, 3, 4 green ones. 4 gray, 4 green, 4 gray. This is the exact same pattern as the arm. So again, I planned for this. I knew what topology that I wanted for the sculpting. So this makes me happy that this is working. This as a checkpoint as a backup. We'll combine these two into their own new mesh. Where is it? Combine. And now all we have to do is snap some or weld some vertices together. Alright, cool. And now we have our hands attached to the body, which makes me happy. Alright. And now for, again, for the markers, we'll add the pink one. Pink loop. We have a lot of edges going down the length of the arm, but we don't have any that are going like in the, what do you call it, like the span width. So let's give the arm a few more polygons, because now I didn't want to do it until the hand was attached. So now that it is, now we can just add it. So again, activate live surface, go to our live surface drawing tool, and now I'm just gonna smooth them out a little bit by adding a few edges and gently smoothing it out. And again, keeping the loops on, keeping the colors where we had them out for planning. So top of the arm, front of the arm, bottom of the arm, all of this remains the same and should not start sliding outwards. So for example, over here, we have a lot of edges that should be more at the bottom, so we'll push them down. Shoulder. Just make sure that this edge remains at the top, because this guy has insanely pointy shoulders. We'll add a few more. Okay, and again, following the flow a little bit, so I do want this edge to keep on the contour of the deltoid. This will have to go up a bit. And looking at the density of these edges, I'll add them here as well. So again, because we did our homework, we worked properly, rather we worked meticulously, and now we can add more polygons to wherever is required. Without it accidentally going on a magical journey and end up somewhere in like a completely different body part. Like, we have our loop set up, now we can add more as needed. So same here for the torso. Just make sure that they don't go fully opposite directions. Here as well. again, we're just looking for evenly spaced out quads right now. So maybe one more here. Again, keep this edge on the loop of the pectoral muscle. And smooth this out a little bit. I'm going to keep this on the middle. Okay. We save. Alright. These are empty nodes, we can delete these. This was the backup. This was the in progress, we don't need this one anymore. Okay. So now we're again one step closer, we have the hands attached. And all of it's nice. All of it's shaping up, we can see the character. Smooth the edges. Okay, so now the last thing that we gotta do is attach the head, or rather wrap up the head. And again, a lot of the questions have been answered. We have our bandit mask, we have our lip loop. Turn off soft selection. Let's see, so this is 26 loops. There will probably be a few more. And then on the body it's 28. So on the neck connection, or rather on the head, you have some leniency, because a lot of it can be like redirected on, for example, the throat or on the back of the head. But we'll do our best to see if we can make a clean connection. Because again, I'm looking at this. You need enough edges for the eyes. There's a bunch of them that will have to terminate somewhere here up top. This is usually done in video game characters because on top of the head, odds are your character has hair cards or a hat or like anything that obscures it. So over there you can do quite a bit of reduction. Okay, but since this character has very big ears, let's focus on that first, because there are still a few pitfalls in here that can screw us. So again, you gotta stay wary right up to the end. First, let's fix up the center line again, because that is the one thing that I absolutely want to keep going. That is the center line. Good. Alright, now we gotta connect the ears, and as you can already see, there's quite a few, like, you see some big polygons over here that go over the top of the head and then go into the face. So preferably I would like these edges, or rather to have these faces go to the back of the head rather than go down onto the body. We'll see how that goes. Like this is where you have to make some choices. Okay. But first up, I do believe I want to have these connected. Because again, I'm making this choice where this is the horizontal loop that goes over the eyes, Goes over the length of the ear. It goes over the length of the ear and then runs over the back of the head. So it stays in its region. And then we'll see how we can go about connecting this. What happens if we start connecting things like this? Let me turn on the colors again. Okay, but this is one of those things that we shouldn't do, because this is creating a spiral, and for that we need to be wary. Like, it goes around, but then rather than going around, it goes straight down. So that's not something we want. So this is where we collapse like this, and we can get rid of this one. But now we have a triangle here. What's going on here? Why is this not? Something is going on. Let me do a quick check. Because again, it's not selecting more than it's having a visual bug. Not quite sure what's going on. Oh. What is this? Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of errors. Maya cannot process selected edges because the meshes being bridged must be combined into a single mesh, or the number of selected edges must be equal. Maya's being drunk. I'm gonna reboot Maya. This is probably gonna turn the black screen for a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna, if I click this, yeah, okay, cool. Quick second, Maya's drunk and needs a reboot. Okay, opening the scene again. Gotta make sure that everything is working. Give me one moment. Okay, yeah. And we should be back. Cool. So again, something went wrong. If we do our loop selections now, everything is fine again. Yeah. Lagerda, welcome on in. Hello there. Okay. So that's the ears connected. Let's see. Sorry, just doing a quick checkup. Alright, so the poles do line up. Slightly annoyed that this one here, I don't think you need to be there. So here we have one that comes from the bottom, this one goes over the top of the muzzle, and then here on top of the oh, and then the pole is over here. Because this thing is going back over the front, so I'm effectively creating some loops, and that shouldn't be. So flow-wise, it will probably be better if we this. Okay, add brake, great. Because I would prefer it if this edge were to go over the top, over the front of the face, then I guess. Let them be bridged like this. I do believe I'm making a little bit of a mess of it because now we have one huge stretched polygon here. So I'm just experimenting. Oh, advertisement, great. Alright, advertisement's over. Let me undo a bunch so we're back at where we started. Alright, which was roughly here. And I'm just not happy about how this is flowing, so I'm gonna see if I can do a better job. And maybe have this flow like it. Because this is one of those, the ear is such a big object. Where it's difficult to have the flow go right, so I'm just thinking out loud now. So if we go here, then this is an edge that goes down. Which is not something that I want. I prefer it if this one stays like this. Which causes this to get collapsed. Because now we have the pole sitting directly on the transition. we should probably also have another edge running over the length of the ear, because this is, especially here at the base, this will require more polygons rather than just have a single edge holding down everything. Why are ears so big? Why do people keep making characters with big ears? So again, I don't know, so I'm just going to cut off a chunk of the model and see if I can make something with it. As a test. So I don't have to worry about how is this going to connect to the head. Because as we can see here, this is quite a round connection. Actually, I'm gonna do it from scratch for a split second. Loving the modeling thus far. Taking up modeling myself. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this... I wanted to demonstrate the retopology stage a little bit. Just so people, like... If people have questions about retopology, then they can ask it. And I'm just going over my line of thinking with this one. And with ears like this, it is absolutely a knowledge check. Like, I have not done ears like this before, so I want to see if I can do it. Just trying to think as much in terms of quads as possible. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Grab the side of the ear shell. Grab this, that's a spiral, we don't want those. So this needs to go up here. Right, so now that's a clean loop. A lot of tension on it though. Maybe we can get away with it. Because the second we have this one figured out, then we can connect it all and we can go back to ZBrush and we can go back to the artistic part of it. But yeah, I chose to do this retopo, so I'm gonna have to stick with it. I'll choose to do like a little, not quite sure how you name these, but I'm purposely letting these two slide over each other. You took a modeling for a video game. Ah, nice! You're making your own game. That's always ambitious. And from here on, we can extrude outwards. Oh, one side got absolutely mangled. We don't look at it. We'll fix it in the mirror. Let's see, red loop. Rather, this should be the red loop. this into, let's say, yeah. Making games takes time. Enjoy the process. The frustration is part of the fun. Weird as that may sound, because when you figure stuff out, that's when the magic happens. Okay, 1, 2. 1, 2, that's a lot more. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Let me get rid of 1 for now. Deke, making the game is like a 30-day adventure in and out. Yeah, Deke? Ugh. Oh, God, the physical pain. Or, not physical, the mental pain. Game dev's easy, in and out, 30 days. Like, I mean, if you want to make the ET game, yes. I believe that one was legitimately 30 days, if not less. Okay. Let me quickly get rid of this one. Focusing on getting a proof of concept and what see if people buy it. Yes, in general, when you're working on a game, try to get your core gameplay loop like done as quickly as possible. And just play test your own game a lot and see if you yourself are enjoying it. So that's gonna be the most important thing of all, like you yourself enjoying it. Oh, can I gently? Oh. All right. Guess Maya's being Maya, so we'll again, thin surface, we'll have to be careful with this, otherwise things are gonna magnetize to the wrong side of the ear shell, which is happening here on the loop, unlike the ear loop. So let me just see if I can quickly model this out by hand. Again, I don't know how entertaining this is. This thing is gonna run over the length of it. Process of making art is always entertaining me. Alright, good. Because that's step one of being an artist. Like, just enjoying the process. It's not all about the final result. Like, it's nice when you spend so much time on something and people are going wild about it. It's validating your feelings. Like, that's nice and all. The frustration and everything, the act of creating itself is a reward in and of itself as well. There we go. Almost there. If we can do this. Okay. So again, I'm really keeping an eye on flow so that this loop, it goes over the edge of the ear. This is a sand line that doesn't get broken, and then this flows outwards, which is not what we want. We want this to flow inwards. So rather than the edge being here, we put the edge here. Yes, now it's a closed loop. Alright, we proceed to the back of the ear, we do the same thing. Thoroughly playtesting your own game, yes. That is... You're raising all of the green flags here. Because the amount of people that I know that create something but they don't playtest their own work and then wonder why it's not working out. Like question number 1, have you playtested your own game? Those are the I'm sorry, Geek. Come on. Now watch this topology not actually work. That would be sad for me. Right. So these are part of the sides, so they also have to go over the side. You inherit the habit back when you were making mutation mods for Left 4 Dead 2. Ooh, nice. Okay. These need to get connected. These need to get connected. Alright, we did it. Whew. Now we gotta shape it up a bit. Yeah, they still have a hiring freeze. No, a freeze on like external people allowing for pitches because it's yeah, it's funny some of the pitches that some people keep coming up with. Like, I literally have a $1 million idea. All I need is 1 million to make it. Like, okay, cool. What's your game idea? Then saying it's basically Fortnite or some other popular game. Uh-huh. So, let's see. Am I happy with this topology? Rather happier. Yes, I am. Alright, we don't look at the... So we'll mirror, make sure that we have actual ears on both sides. This game in question will be first-person shooter with a decidedly more weird setting, 1910, 1920s fantastic diesel steampunk. Okay. Clear dots. Okay. So, line of thinking that I went over here with is we have our pink loop that runs over the core of the ear and is going well. We have the red loop, which is the border of the base. We have some stretch polygons here, which may bite us in the ass later on. But again, for sculpting topology, this should be fine. Later on in actual game res topology, odds are we're gonna smack a lot of triangles in here, but don't tell anyone. And maybe I can actually adjust the shape a little bit like this, so that the connection of the ear is a little bit lower. Okay. And again, the top of this ear. Cool. So, new ears. These are the old ears. This is where I go quiet, and this is where I wonder where I left my face topology, because I might have deleted it. That's the nose. It's not there. Yeah, I think I deleted the face. That's funny. Cool. Okay. Perfect example of why you should keep incremental saves. I'm gonna load up a second scene of Maya. I don't know if it's gonna get captured on I don't know if it's gonna get captured on OBS. Well, rather than last week's VOD, I am so glad that I made an incremental save. Where we go... yeah, I accidentally deleted the wrong thing. So, what ended up happening is... I did not invert selection, so I deleted everything except the bad ears. So... yeah. Everyone, do as I say, not as I do, and keep incremental saves. Let's see. Copy. Luckily, paste. you can copy geometry between Maya scenes. So this is, yeah, just pasted head topology. Incremental saves of recover. Deke, I do not live as dangerous as you do. One of the first things that I always do, alright, you can't see it. One of the first things I always do whenever I open up a new computer, or just try again. Whenever I get a new workstation and I have to install Maya on it, first thing I will do is turn on autosaves and give it like, hi, you're gonna autosave every 10 minutes and you're gonna have up to 50 incremental saves. Alright, so this time we delete ears. We will do a quick check on topology, so mirror. Roy Enzo, welcome on in. Hey there. Listen, my Lion model has like 25 version. Yes. So because I'm only working on this project once a week, and for this week I made a version 2 of like the incremental saves. If I were to look at the ZBrush version, we are on, yeah, there's one incremental save for every week, so we're on version 14 on that one. Alright, cool. Awkwardness averted. We have our model, so we have our new ears, our old head. Add start in 3 minutes. Let me quickly take this time to just put the markers back on. So again, I believe this was, oops, bandit mask. Lip loops, which was red. And centerline, which was blue. This one, eye loops. Yes, Blue, please make more incremental saves on your model, because again, I just showcased it. It's that easy to accidentally make a mock-up, and then this is just working on a personal file, or like a personal project. Okay, make the gray face white real quick. Deke, what are you about to do? White. Is this what you want, Deke? Okay, show loops again. Deke, are you trying to steal my topology that I've been demonstrating for a while? No, the colors. Oh, the loops. Oh, well, I have to, yeah. Or can you make the gray, what, you mean like, hang on, the initial, Lambert 1, do it like this? Oh, do you want to make a clown face? Is that it? Ah, okay, well done, Deke. Listen, I thought that you wanted to, okay, you're welcome, Deke. And what's up? My high-res scope was like 130 saves due to crashing corruption issue. Oh yeah, one of my previous projects has like, I think 12 incremental saves, and all of them are just trying to figure out why this file keeps crashing. The second you smell anything, just slightly off about the 3D software. For example, the viewport starts stuttering, you get a weird aberrant error, something freaks out, pause what you're doing, make a new incremental save. Okay, so these ears go away. I make sure to vigilantly save my models as I work on. Yes, just again, I have an autosave for every 10 minutes, and I will incremental save like earlier where my selection was being off. Immediately restart, like something's going bad. All right. So head topology. Okay, so my line of thinking out loud. Usually I always keep this loop around the face because I want to have like a nice clean cut in the UVs, and this border allows for that. But it also, due to the size of the ears, a lot of these faces are getting... You would never steal my topology, Deke. You would ask first and then steal it. Deke, I give you full permission to steal any and all topology that you learned from these streams, because this is exactly why I do these. Like, if even one person like learns a new trick about topology, all of this will have been worth it. So yes, please feel free to take these topology tips and tricks that you see over here and use them on your own model and become a better artist. Okay. Where was my line of thinking? Yeah, so I'm thinking about breaking my own rule of like getting rid of this orange loop and have it run over the edge of the ear. I think I should still have enough topology where I can make a clean cut for the UVs later on. But again, this is thinking quite far away. So I'll actually just delete these. And I would like there to be an extra inset here. Or rather, I would like these to be connected. Where is it? Bridge. Mainly because I want this loop. That goes across the eyes, over the ears, and then over the back of the head. That's a loop that I want. So let's very gently also smooth this out. Let's see. So I'm slightly concerned about these polygons being quite stretched, so maybe... yeah, this quad is holding off deer life because this one is like really stretching. So maybe we can alleviate it a little bit like this. Maybe I will also immediately go back and just keep a loop here. Okay. And have this loop here, and then we'll close this up. Oh, Marin, thank you very much for the resub. 3 months already, wow. Time starts to fly. Yeah, welcome in, Marin. What? Yeah, try again. Welcome on in, Marin, and thank you very much for the resub. It's extremely greatly appreciated. Okay, so this forehead is getting very dense. So we will absolutely have to do like some reductions. But for now... So keep forgetting to ask, what species is your Sona? Oh, I run around as a Vernid, which is a fantasy species designed by Lilyra. They're, I guess, somewhat I myself still don't exactly quite know for certain what they are, but they have like some draconic features as well. Yeah, that's what I run around as on the internet. Let's smooth this out, see if we can get some... Cute is what they are, says Deke. Thank you. Right. Yeah, this thing is holding on for dear life. I'm gonna add these loops. So again, adding a few more loops to the eyes as well, because we need more of those later on. And they run over the back of the ear. Yeah. I don't think I actually posted my reference or my ref sheet on Blue Sky yet. I should probably do that at some point. Okay. Let me try to focus up a bit again. So our... Okay, we have arrived at the point where... God, what is this? We have 18 edges versus 4 edges. This is where people chuckle nervously and it's like, okay, cool. Where the heck are we gonna dispose all of these edges on? If this was... Just make a big Angon. No, we won't. So... okay, on the serious mode. This is where... yeah, this is where we need to be a little bit smart and with our planning to see like, okay, this character has a mohawk. So there's not too much hair being covered. If this was for a game, we could try to just triangulate them like this and reduce them like that. Which is valid, because, well, sorry, you would put them up a little bit higher. Like you could do this. And with that you're already reducing, and as you can see, if this was for the eyebrows that need to move up and down, these triangles are not being affected. Yeah, so this is on top of the head. This is like frowning or like raising your eyebrows. As long as on the forehead you have your polygons still straight, it's okay. And then on top of the head, underneath the hairline, this is where you could triangulate if this was your game res topology. But we're doing sculpting topology, so if we have like a bunch of triangles here, that is going to cause pulls, which is going to give us gnarly subdivisions. So we can't do that yet. Also, let me first check how many we can have going over the back of the body. So let's work on this first. So we have... Hang on. is this not? Okay, so we have 30 on the neck, and we have 28 on the body. So what I can do is do one more on the pink loop, and then if math is correct, we now have 32 loops, which again, magic number 8, 16, 32. So I know that I can. What's up? Thank you very much for the follow, and the Brian here. Thank you very much for the 3 stream streak. Thank you. So 30, we can have. Let's see, where do I want these? The front of the throat appears to have enough edges. Same for the sides. Well, maybe not the sides. So over here we have quite a few polygons. So now I know that I can have 6 more edges running down the face. Rather down the head, because this is 30 and this is 32. Wait. God, I can't math. No, we have room for 1 more edge loop. I'm looking at the top of the head and I see that these polygons are getting quite stretched, so I'm going to choose to put it here. So it runs down the length of the ear, gives us a bit more polygons for the roundness of the ear. And with that I'll say, okay, this is what we're going to commit to. So combine, so body topology, let's connect it. I'm gonna hide this one. We can hide this one. We'll work on this one. Just 1 sec, that's a notification. Okay, the notification can wait. And now we are going to bridge. And hopefully things are going to line up. And I'm saying this in like line up in terms of like the sides remaining on the sides and not accidentally sliding towards the back, which is what's happening here. So we'll see how it goes after a little bit of relaxing of the polygons, because this looks Maya, why do you not use the materials properly? So let me refix markers. Loop. These red loops. Pink, red, and blue. Alright, so that's the head connected. I'm surprised that one went easy, knocking on wood. But because again, we've been very careful with how many edges that we are working with. So this, with the exception of the top of the head, because this always happens because the face is very dense. But for the body, we did not end up with like the shoulder being like 20 edges and then the arm being 12, or or uneven numbers. Like, we were meticulous enough where we avoided a lot of these issues. Okay, so and again, this is sculpting topology because this guy has quite a firm neck muscle. Later on, like when the high poly is done, we will most likely change the neck topology quite a bit. Just to accommodate for like this strong diagonal line. I'm not going to do that in this stage. Because again, we might change that neck muscle. But for now, this is what we're working with. And this because we got another loop here. Just smooth this out a little bit because again we added edges on the side of the body and the front. Okay, something happened that I'm not happy with. Where did it sneak in? Right, well, for now it's fine. Because again, sculpting topology. So I think technically the pink loop should have another one. It's now over here on the toe. Again, this is a version that I made before stream. And looking at this one, has also a 36. And as you can see here, on the pink one we have 3 rather than 2, so I want to know where that thing snuck in. So, sorry, technical stop for a minute. I want to know where that thing phased in, or rather, how that happened. Am I dumb? Did I just miscount? So, okay, 36. Alright. 36, 32. Alright, so we can have... what does that give us? It gives us an extra loop that runs over the nose bridge. Okay, I want it running over the top of the head. Alright, and then this one is going to get an extra loop just anywhere here. That is incorrect. Alright, sorry, I'm undoing this. Technically we do not need this. I'll just get rid of this one. It's fine. Because again, sculpting topology, not game topology. And I am wasting time. So 32, 32, we just undo all of this and reattach. Alright. We're happy with what we have. Yeah, it had 32 before, but it's like... It's fine. Something in the back of my mind is tickling of like, hey, because here at the front of the leg now has a face rather than an edge. And here on the front toe we have like 2 loops rather than 3 loops, but it's fine. Like this is such a minuscule thing that it's not worth pointing out actually. Alright, wedge marker. That, and I want to keep this show on the road in terms of like I want to wrap this up so we can go back into ZBrush because I want to show you how to reproject as well. Okay. Okay. Right. So now this is where we're going to redirect a lot, and I apologize, this is not going to look pretty, but this is going to be efficient. Okay, because how many do we have? This is not going to be pretty at all. I'll put them back here. So, what do we want? Let's say that this loop then runs over the muzzle is going to go here. So that's one. Like, I want to see if I can space them out slightly. It's going to require more. So again, these polygons are going to get very stretched, and I do not like that. Why is the face so dense? Because we have a lot of eye loops. God, this feels so illegal.
So if your business isn't running as smoothly as you'd like, say hello to the Merlin system. Now you can overcome all that with the Merlin system from AT&T. It's incredibly easy to use.
This is not going to win any beauty prizes. Jesus, this... Nope, 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 nope. We're not doing that. Because, okay, reason A, if I hold down this, you can see we have some loops that go over the entire body. Like, I don't want that. We have these polygons that are extremely stretched up, and I don't want that. We put some poles in here that absolutely should not be here. So how do we... This is why I need to be very careful. Because I'm thinking about the amount of edges that are going up, and maybe we can offload a few to the side on the ear. Technically we could do this, but that would absolutely be atrocious. We're not going to do it. So remember all I said about planning properly and then you don't have this type of stuff? This is where you don't plan, and now on top of the head I have this huge discrepancy between like edges that I need to figure out. Like doing it properly. Just send it. No, I can't. Alright, let me... Because also I need to make sure that the amount of edges are like... Equal. Let me pick a quick new material. What color shall we pick? Guess we'll pick this color for now. Alright, I'm thinking... So rather than everything being over the center line, I might actually just be able to loop them like this for a little bit. This is me flying without a plan right now. This is scary. We can terminate once like this. So those are the eyes moved out of the way. We still have this huge polygon here. And again, later on this is not going to be a thing in the actual final topology. This is just for sculpting, I keep telling myself. Alright, quite possibly one of the dirtiest terminations I've ever done on top of a head, but it works. So again, in the future, we're not gonna have this. But for now, we will. Okay, let me... Yeah, okay. This is uncomfortable. But we're working with it. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can wrap up this retopo. So over here we can see the eyelids. This is now where I just add a few more. Now that everything is connected. Put one more in the bandit. Smooth it out a bit. And then again, if I would have put another marker on this. So we have these like these will go around the eye, and like ideally this line, if it's visible, let me otherwise, like this line is ideally going to be the top of the eye, is going to be the eyebrow. And then this lid is going to be for the actual eyelid itself, where it has the thickness. I might actually just add another one in here for good measure. Like, give a marker to that one. We'll make that one light. So that's going to be the actual eyelid, as much as that's required. let's save. And then here in the muzzle, let's just add 1 or 2 more so we have enough on the mouth. Quick important check to see if we have the same amount, because we did a redirect from the eye. So top of the muzzle, we have 25. Bottom of the muzzle, we have 21, so we're missing a few, because we do want these to be like 1 for 1. Right. More like this. 25. 25. Alright, now they match up again. Alright, inside of the mouth. For the smooth preview, we have the lip loop. Should probably do an inset. Oh, hang on, how do I... How do I phrase this? So here we have the lip loop, and then the inside of the mouth loop, like I'd like 1 more. We'll do it like this. And this one we know we can move upwards. Is that correct? I think it is. Alright. And again, this is sculpting topology. Yeah, it should be good enough. Alright, cool. We have this thing. It took us 2 sessions. We're 50 minutes out until the ending of this stream. We are going to send it. So save, file, export selection. You can see this, and we'll do an OBJ export, and we'll call it Hyena Bard body sculpting template. Alright, I'm putting up ZBrush. The transition is gonna go well. One second please, as I set up the scene. Load tool, nope, that's the wrong project. Hyena Bard 14, yep, that's the correct scene. Okay. If I click here, yes, there we have it. Alright, so here we have the ZBrush model again. And now, so we have all of this, again, we have the body, but we can see that the hands, the fingers, and the head are all separate. And we do not want that. So we went through all of this trouble, so we have one, like, we're at one continuous surface. So let me bend, polymesh 3D, import, assets, Hyena Bard, sculpting retable. Cool, and there we have it. Here we have our model. Oh, take care, Snowy. Thank you very much for hanging out. And hopefully see you again next time. Alright. So yeah. Train of thoughts. We have this model, but it's the low poly. It does not have, like, this is it. It does not have any sculpting. It does not have any sculpting detail on it, because that is a different model. So let me make absolutely sure that this thing is mirrored. So I will just hit mirror and weld, and there should not be any issues. Smooth preview. Let me check if there's any unwelded vertice. Actually, I should do this in Maya, so let's jump back to Maya real quick. And we are going to use the cleanup tool. Unfortunately, you cannot see this due to the way that OBS is capturing this. But Maya's cleanup tool is a very basic tool that lets you analyze a model and tell you, hey, there are faces with more than 4 sides on it. You have non-manifold geometry or laminar faces. I'm just gonna hit this one, and we can see we have a few points lighting up. Odds are this is non-manifold geometry, in which Maya doesn't really know how this should work, and we'll just tell it to automatically fix itself. So we clean up, we select again, and now the model gets deselected. So we know that there's no laminar faces, no non-manifold geometry, and no angons in here. These don't count. So with that, one more time, re-exporting, go back to ZBrush, import, cool. First thing I want to do is set up polygroups. So now that we have clean topology, we can also do this. We can CMS selection sets, where if we want to work on the face, then we have a polygroup for that. How did you learn so much about modeling and sculpting? I've been doing this for more than 10 years. I went to university for it. I had industry people train me. And I failed a lot. I worked on projects where stuff broke, and I had to redo a whole bunch of stuff. So what you're seeing here is the culmination of a lot of failures and knowing how to do it better. So let me quickly... Let's see, polygroup, polyloop. We're gonna isolate the face, we're gonna isolate the muzzle, because I know that we'll be working on the inside of the mouth for a bit. For a bit. Yeah, so the whole it takes 10,000 hours to get good at something absolutely applies to 3D. Getting proficient in it is step 1, and then after that you will actually start making models that look rather like, oh yeah, I made this, I'm proud of it, because the first couple of models that I made are absolutely abysmal. But that's fine, because you're learning. So I'm just splitting it up right now. And I'm thinking about, okay, if I want to work on things, where do I want visibility toggles? So for example, if I want to work on the head without like getting blocked by the body, we can do things like this, where now it's just the head being isolated. If I want to work on, I should split this in upper and lower muzzle. So if it's like, hi, I need to work on the inside of the mouth, okay, we isolate the lower jaw. Or do the inverted, I need to work on the inside of the upper jaw. Now with this topology, we can turn things on and off. So I need to make one for like the mouth back. So yeah, getting better at 3D is okay. Sure, there is watching YouTube videos and how-tos and reading documentation. That is step one. Familiarizing yourself with the software is step two. Failing an ungodly amount at all of your projects and learning with each and every one of them, that is step three, and it is the most uncomfortable step, but you have to power through that one. Because then eventually you'll see the other end of the tunnel, and then it's like, oh cool, now I'm actually making the models that I want, and they're technically sound, and they how do I say this? They're looking how I want them to. Okay, let's see. Adding some new loops, because again, here we have our bandit mask. We have our eyelids. This is going to be inside. Cool. For the legs, these polygons have gone quite low. Should be fine for now. Right, for the beans, because again, one thing that's absolutely going to happen, these beans are going to get like absolutely destroyed because we're going to reproject the high poly, and we do not have any interior polygons. So I need to make sure that these things have their own polygroups. Now how do I know this? Because in previous projects I had them get absolutely mangled. So yeah, this a lot of failure. I like to draw vertices. Some model told me once told him I'd want to. He's a bit like, who drew the hand, 3D hand? Not quite sure if I understand that one. Okay, and then we'll do like a upper and lower body split. Okay. Lower. Alright. So now we have like our torso, our arms, our hands, bunch of loops in the face for maximum control, and also my own sanity of knowing where I want the eyelids to be. Oh, and we should do the fingers as well as like individuals. Because again, those things are also going to get mangled. So I'm doing this on like poly loop. And then after that, I will go poly island, and with shift, I'll select the color that I want. And then make sure that the rest of the finger follows the same. So now we have like individual fingers that we can then work on in, as like a separate thing. Yeah, it's fine. All right, cool. So again, we save. So incremental 15. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, I want to store a morph target. And I want to make sure that my subdivision does not get shrunken down. Because whenever you... Okay, let me demonstrate. So we're gonna need more subdivision levels because this thing is only like a little over 5,000 or almost 6,000 active points. So we're gonna have to subdivide. When you subdivide, hang on, let me duplicate this so it becomes visible. And hide the other one. So you subdivide 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're at 1.4 million. And like, okay, cool, this becomes more topology you can sculpt on. But then as I unsubdivide, we notice that our model is like smoother compared to the original. Especially if you look at things such as the shoulder. We lost a little bit of volume, and I don't want that. Because this is going to make the reprojection like slightly off. So what I like to do is undo all of that. And I store a morph target on the lowest, on its base subdivision. So morph target, store. And then I subdivide. There's this mechanic in Blender where you can manually create a vertex and drawing vertices. I'll have to look into Blender to like fully understand what that means, but I think I have an inkling. Alright, back to the demo. So we have 5, let's do 6. We'll do 6 subdivisions, so on nearly 6 million polygons. Now, as we can see, we've lost volume. But now we have a morph target, so if we hit switch, we get our original low poly back, which now still has the subdivisions. And now if you go back, there's still a slight bit of volume loss, but it's a lot less. So this is going to help with reprojections. If you have a vertex already selected as you do that, it'll extend off of the vertex. Oh, and then you'll be... Okay, I've seen people do that. Okay, and then that's how they model. Cool. Alright, so this thing, 6 subdivision levels. And we reduce the amount of volume that we're losing. Okay, so now we are going to delete the morph target. Go to our highest subdivision level. And we're going to store a new one. So this one can... I'll keep it as a backup, so Hyena. Or backup. Right, and we'll rename this one Hyena Bard. Code. Okay. So now we want to do something which is called reprojecting, because if I were to go here, so we have our body. yeah, we have our body. I need to find all of these. We have our ears, which still has this notch in it, which I guess I can remove for now. Oh. Function with multiple subdivision levels. Ah, there we go. So delete lower. Mirror, mirror and weld. I saw that this thing also has like a slight misalignment, so okay, that's symmetrical as well. I don't care about the polypaint. I need to get the hair, or rather the head, not the hair. And I need to get the hands. Oh, can't forget about the nose again. And gives you an overview of all of your active subtools. Again, I spy with my little eye. Can I just do? Oh, I can. Fingers. F. Finger world space. Finger splits. There we go. Pays off to have your model, to have your subtools renamed. Okay, so here we have our high poly. And we want to reproject all of that into the new retopologized model. Oh. Why does this thing have its mouth closed? Oh, because it's the backup. It's this one that we want. Okay, good catch. Okay. So this is where ZBrush has something called reprojection. It's where you project one mesh onto another. So we're going to make sure that we're on our retopologized mesh. And basically what can happen is from this mesh, it's going to search to other polygons that are around it. In this case, the high poly. And it's going to try and do its best to position the polygons or the vertices from our retopologized model and matches that close as possible to the high poly. So yeah, we'll start low. And I'm gonna say I only want geometry. I'm not that interested about color, but I'll keep it for now and I'll say project all. One or more visible subtool contains poly data. Would you like to project poly data to the active tool? Yes. And now it's done its best to reproject the polygons as best as you can, and you can see that we have a few artifacts, especially in the back of the mouth, inside of the ear, and I knew this was going to happen because I've had it in the previous models. The feet got absolutely mangled because we have polygons that are like inside of the high poly, and those vertices just got shot in a direction where it matches the high poly. Okay, and because I want more sculpted detail, we'll go up another level, we'll reproject again. One more time, reproject. Okay. This is where my computer starts to blow. These are beefy calculations from time to time. Alright. And we can see that there's like some shenanigans going on, especially here in the ear. Which is what I anticipated, which is why I stored a morph target. Because with a morph target, you can morph back elements that you don't like. So for example, here in the hips, we can see there's some shenanigans going on. So BMG, I can now, if I were to turn off RGB, I can morph this back to its original state and resculpt that as necessary. Same for the ears. let me reproject it. And that's how we heal it. Same for this. For some reason we have an aberrant vertex here in the back. Just go over that with both the morph brush. And that's how you fix those reprojection errors. Oh, we're in advertisement. So let me do this one more time on like level 6. So reproject. Let me know if this I can already see my PNG tuber having a field day as it's losing frames. Yeah, FPS is dropping on OBS. It's calculating. We should be back. Okay. Are we back? Yeah, my computer stopped blowing. We're back on 60 FPS. And we have reprojected our detail. And now we have what we want, which is all of this done in a single, like this is one singular model with subdivision levels that we can now sculpt cleanly over and finish the whatchamacallit. Now we can finish the pass on the body, because again we still see like little projected or rather faceted polygons. So next up we're gonna pass over it. Hey Nadesky, welcome on in. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna get rid of these reprojection errors. Fix up the ears. Oh, this is wild. But again, this is why we have the morph brush. All of those little potholes that are in there, we don't want them. So we'll just morph them out again. It is important that you find those, because those will give issues in baking later on, because you kind of have like a lot of... God, you don't want to have this happen in your high poly. So again, this is happening because our initial mouth bag didn't go this deep. So again, some would call this abstract art. All we have to do is just use the morph brush and morph it back into place. Enable double, make sure that we have none of the spikes going on. Okay. Couple issues here. Okay. Still a couple of polygons that are being funky. Or rather, this is the edge of the reprojection. So again, I'm using the morph brush a lot to try and heal these things. And then make sure we don't have any of these spikes. Right, so that's the inside of the mouth fixed. Model. I spy with my little eye. Probably hands up next, yep. But it's fine because those hands had to get resculpted anyway. We just have to make sure that none of this bloated topology is actually like giving issues. And we need to get rid of the nails because those will be separate geometry. So with the morph brush, we'll just carefully get rid of the nails. We can leave the color in so we know roughly where the border of the nails ought to be. Checking from top to bottom, so the head is fixed. We'll fix the inside of the mouth back soon. This looks fine. Just doing quick smoothing strokes over everything to see if like some spikes appear. Alright, and now over here the beans absolutely decimated because the original mesh did not have polygons in between the toes, so with this one now we just have to morph them back separately. And this is why I made them into individual polygroups, because as you can see we have a lot of aberrant information. Go like this, we can quickly morph that back in and not have that be an issue. Because again, I've had this happen in previous projects, it's not fun. And now that you see how it can be done, hopefully it doesn't happen in your project. So that is 2 sessions worth of retopoing, and all of this for this result of we have the base body now with high poly sculpted on it. We have workable topology, and now we can get into the nitty-gritty of this body and give it a last beauty pass. So I'm gonna make another incremental save. I can move this one up to the top of the stack, as we will no longer be needing this individual rather, we won't be needing the old parts anymore, so I can just we're gonna put them into a folder, so old body split parts. So we still have stuff like elbow tufts that are separate. This is fine, we need these. Hip tufts, ear piercings, or rather I should be doing it in here. So old ears, go in here. Nose. Don't need the heads anymore. Still need the beans, we still need the toenails. Okay, so these are also old, we no longer need these. that should be it. So we'll move this one to the bottom of the stack. Okay. And then we can work on this. Alright. The first thing that I want to fix is the inside of the mouth, because we added it, we gave it more depth. So now, oh, yeah, it's going to start auto-deleting stuff. So now we can do stuff like this, where we have, oh, you can still see a few spikes. Let's smooth those out. They're in the inside of, oh, they're over here. Morph brush. It is important to find these buggers. We just kick them out with a morph brush. Okay, so we have a few polygons that we did not grab in the polygroups. Okay, so this is the inside of the mouth. And we'll add this to the... Okay, so this looks fine, this looks fine. We'll shape it up. See, roof of the mouth. So again, earlier I paid barely any attention to the inside of the mouth. Now that we actually have topology that we can work with, we can make it more like more accurate. Like actually give this guy a proper roof of the mouth. The only thing that we now need to take care of is that our polygons don't get stretched too much. So we want something, but we also handed in like some flexibility. Make sure that he doesn't lose his goatee. We're gonna resculpt over this. Yeah, it's such a small detail where if even as low polymolar, still make sure to give character a proper mouth interior. Because again, when a character is talking and you see like a flat polygon right behind the teeth, it kind of breaks the immersion. So just don't skip it. Smoothing it out. Right, this is where we got fun stuff like this. Alright. Sudden jump scare. What's this? Oh, it's the gums sticking out. Okay. That's fine. We can nudge this forward. Okay. So we have 13 minutes remaining. So this is now stuff like, okay, we can now do sculpted detail on the body. So this is where we get the clay tubes brush. We give it a very low embed, and now we actually start polishing it. Making sure that like we get rid of this like make sure that it gets the polish pass that it deserves, and we don't have any of that all of these artifacts. So now we're back to the artistic part of it, which is sculpting. All of this effort for this. And again, you don't need to do this on all of your projects. I just like doing it because now I have workable topology. Theoretically, you don't need to do this. So we're working a little bit more on top of it. We really have these transitions be a little bit softer. Let me turn off polypaint so we don't get distracted by that and really only look at the form of the apps. Okay, and now because we already have the clothing and everything on top of it, for example, we're not going to be working on the chest that's underneath the shirt. Like it's not going to be there in the high poly, or rather it's not going to be there in the bake, so we don't need to like commit time to that. Things such as the arm, yeah, those are absolutely there, so we have to commit to that. We can now somewhat smooth this out. We have to make sure that we don't get things such as like these polygons showing up. And otherwise we can always subdivide one more time. And then we'll probably shoot up to like 6. We'll get more polygons. I can't do math at this time of day anymore. Reduce intensity, very gently go over the surface, and then get that final high poly pass in there for the arms. Because I think after that we might be closing in on the end of the high poly, and then we go back to retopology again. Oh. But then it will be retopology for games, and then we'll be retopologizing clothes and everything on it. So it's going to be different, and we've already done a lot of legwork for the body, because honestly the body is the biggest. Hang on, let me knock on wood. The body is the biggest hurdle. Oh wait, and we also need to fix the hands. Actually, let's. Let me show you the reason of why I put these. Why I put so many edge loops near the eye, because we literally use these to model in the eyelid and really get like a nice sharp shape over there. Let's use this. And again, I keep hammering on this for everyone. Eyelids are a lot thicker than most people make them. Because, like, again, thicker eyelids make eyes look more natural, even when they're stylized. So keep an eye on that. I guess stuff like this. Brush, smooth, directional smooth. So you'll actually get some eyelids in there that are there because of geometry. Loving the design. Thank you. Again, I'll repeat this. Full credit goes to Il55 on social media. They are responsible for the kick-ass design. I did not make this 2D image at all. I'm just making the 3D model of it. Okay, let me just focus on the face for a moment. Mask for a second. Again, that little notch in the ear, we'll repair that in the future. I just want to make sure that the model is like that everything is connected, that everything's working, and that all the loops are on the proper place. So same here, before the merge we had like quite an icky connection. Now that we have it, we can correct it, or rather sculpt on it and actually have more control over it. Balas Chaya, thank you very much for the follow. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. With Damien Standard, we'll recreate the chin line, or rather neckline. Hi, cool work, thank you. We've been working on this for a while now. That's part of the teeth puncturing through the jawline, so we'll have to fix that as well. Yeah, thank you. Welcome on in. Unfortunately, you're catching the tail end of the stream. We've been going for 3 hours now. Let me just focus on this for a little bit. So again, because we have our selection masks, or rather our selection sets, we can use this for easy masking now, and then we get stuff like selecting a color, object. Now, because we have topology, everything, at least from me, it works so much nicer. Like, the benefits that you get from it are quite nice. This pole is holding up dear life. Alright, I'm gonna save. Okay, so advertisement is starting. I'll look for a raid target in the meantime. And if anyone has any questions about like the topology or the steps that I just made or anything at all, feel free to ask it, and I'll do my best to address it at the end of this stream. In the meantime, I'm gonna look for a raid target. Let's see, I'd like to find someone who's doing 3D as well. I think we can go say hi to Bowie. It's been a while since we said hi to Bowie. So let me set up this raid. Alright, Lagerda, good luck on working on your game, and I'll see you hopefully next time. 1 minute of advertisement. Thank you very much for hanging out, Aaron. Always very much appreciated. Alright, so let me do my outro. As always, I stream on Wednesdays. We go for 3 hours a session. We've been working on this guy for this is session 15. We're closing in on the end of the high poly. And after that, we will go back to retopologizing the low poly. We'll probably need like 1 or 2 more sessions. Oh. Thank you for the stream, you're welcome. Your PNG is really cute, thank you. If you'd like to see more of me outside of the streams, you can find me on this social media. So yeah, we'll probably need, let's be royal, 2 or 3 more sessions for the high poly. If all goes well, we need to fix the body, we need to fix the hands, we need to fix the beams. And after that, I think we'll go into actual retopologizing for the low poly. But for now, we're gonna raid out. So we're gonna raid Polygon VR. Bowie is doing 3D as well. So if you stick around for the 3D, you can continue enjoying the 3D. Bowie's working on a commission for Spout, I believe. So let's see, raid, yes. If you have my emotes, we're gonna go for the good vibes raid again. If you don't have them, you can use channel points to unlock them. And yeah, hopefully I'll see all of you again next time. That'll be it for today, so thank you very much, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye bye!